everyone, my name is Elizabeth Joseph. Thank you for joining us once again for another episode of the MyZone Learning Online School. So the first thing, you know what we always do here in the studio, you know this, because you guys are our besties and we have to do this together. So let's get into your hands, deep into the fingers. Yeah, let's sanitize our hands and just remember to remain calm, as this week's theme is still remaining calm during the COVID crisis here in Namibia and all over the world. So let's remain calm, friends, and think about the nice things that you'll do when you get back to school and the playing and everything. So we're going to move straight into our lessons. So the first lesson for you guys is of grade 1 for week 8, and this is lesson 5. So let's see what this lesson has for us.
Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, lesson 1. Prepositions and directions.
Good day and welcome to MyZone Online School. My name is Ms. Priska Ogas and I would like to welcome my friend with me today. Our theme is still about transport, but before we go on, I want us to always remember to sanitize our hands. Let us do that. Sanitize our hands and always remember social distance. Our lesson for today is classifying, identifying about transport, subtraction, adjectives, and coloring. This lesson is all about finding, coloring in all the different types of transport, because our theme is all about transport. Now, if you look at the pictures on page 26, can you go to page 26? You will see many pictures over there. If you look at the first one, it's a bus, the grapes, a stove, motorbike, and it goes on. But our instructions is to find the different transport pictures and color them in. Now, I will do the first two with you. Now, in the first row, you will see a bus, grapes, and a stove. Which one do you think is the transport? Transport meaning a way of traveling when you are going to school or going back home or to town. How do you go? Do you walk or by what? Some people use the bus. So the bus is also a type of transport. Now you can color in the bus. Color in the bus. Have you done that? Now let's go to the second row. In the second row, the first picture is a motorbike. Then we have the tortoise and the bicycle. Which of these are means of transport? Yes, motorbike. And the tortoise? No. The bicycle? Yes. The bicycle is also a means of transport. Yes, color them in. Only the means of transport. The rest of the pictures, I want you to go through them, look at them, and identify what we can still use by means of transport and color them in. I want you to do this yourself at home. This lesson is again about subtraction. I'm sure you remember what we have done previously. Today and now we are going to talk about subtraction again up to number 10. The instruction says on page 27. If you all go to page 27, it's all about subtraction. Let us read. Cross out the picture to subtract. Write the answers in the boxes. You will see in the first block that we have taxis, and underneath the taxis it says how many, and you will see a block. And underneath that you will see the minus sign, and it says take away 8. And the last one it says how many are left. Now let's go back to our pictures. The taxis. How many taxis are there? Let's count the taxis together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 taxis. There are 10 taxis. Now in the first block that is open, write number 10. Write number 10. Now it says take away 8. So what you have to do, it's always best to cross out when you are taking away. Go back to the taxis and cross out 8 taxis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cross them all out. Now how many are left? How many are left? 2. 1, 2. So now the last block, write number 2 in that block. Oh, you are so clever. Now I want you to do the next one and the others by yourself at home, because I know you have done it before and you will do it perfectly. If you need assistance, ask mommy and daddy to help you. Let us go to page 28. Turn to page 28. Page 28. It's the same subtraction, but this time within 5. I will read the instructions. Cross out the pictures to subtract. Write the answers in the boxes. It's the same what we did previously. I will do the last one in the last block, the hot air balloon. How many hot air balloons do we have? It's only 1. So in the first block, I want you to write 1. And then you will see the minus sign, and it says take away 1. Then I want you to write 1 in that box. And now in the last block, you have now 1 hot air balloon. And if you take away that hot air balloon, cross it out. Cross out the hot air balloon. Have you crossed it out? Yes. Now how many balloons are left? 0. Nothing. So in the last block, write 0. The rest of the sums, I want you to do it by yourself. This lesson is all about adjectives. If you turn to page 29, you will see different pictures concerning adjectives. But I want you to look at the board, the chalkboard, so that we can learn a little bit about adjectives and what adjectives are. On the board, you will see there is a van. And this van is blue and it has black wheels. Now, adjectives describes a noun. A car, a van is a noun. And it's describing what it is, how it looks like, how big it is, and how fast it is. This van, the shape of this van is rectangle. So it's explaining what type of a shape this van is. And this van has wheels. It has round wheels. This van has round wheels. So the adjective is round. And these wheels are black. And it's still describing how these wheels look like. It's still describing how these wheels look like. They are round and they are black. And this van drives very fast. It's describing what this van is doing. That's adjectives. Adjectives tells us and describes the noun fast, drives fast, round black wheels, and the shape is a rectangle shape. That is adjectives. Now, if we go back to our page 29, go back to page 29, the instruction says, color the adjective that matches each picture. In the first picture, we have a girl. And under this girl, there are two words, hard and soft. Now the girl, she's sitting on something, and it's a pillow. Is a pillow hard or is it soft? I'm sure you have a pillow at home. It is soft. So what you do is take your pencil or your crayon and circle the word soft in, or you can color it in. Now we'll do one more. You see the cat next to the girl? The cat. It's wet or is it dry? It's wet. The cat is wet. Now you go and find the word and you color the word wet in. I want to do everything with you, but I know you want to do it yourself, so I will let you do it yourself. If you need assistance, ask mommy or daddy to do that. Now let's turn to page 30. Turn to page 30. Oh, I'm so excited. Are you excited? I see a car. I see a car. Now what you're going to do at home, this will be your homework. I know you are at home, but I want you to do this yourself. You have to color in this car. Just imagine it's your own car, color it in. Now we have come to the end of our lesson. We have come to the end of our lesson. I hope you enjoyed your time with us today. But before we end it off, I want us to remember always to sanitize our hands. Sanitize your hands. If you don't have sanitizer, wash your hands thoroughly. And remember to keep social distance. Always. You always have to remember that. And with us, we will invite our good friend Zoshi to come and say bye-bye.
Hi everyone, I'm back, and if you are scared of what you read on social media, talk to your parents and ask them the questions. They know everything. Until next time, bye!
Thank you so much, Teacher Priska, for all of that amazing information. So we're going to move straight on to grade 2 and 3, which is lesson 5. And this has all to do with synonyms and antonyms and all those nums. So I hope you enjoy this.
Hello everyone and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and I have my friend here joining us for today's lesson. Let's say hi to everyone at home. Hello everyone. Our theme this week has been autumn and we have been talking a lot about autumn. But before we get into today's lesson, we need to sanitize our hands. So please take your sanitizer. Well done. Remember, sanitizing is very important. That is why everywhere you go now, everyone is sanitizing. And make sure that your hands are dry once you're done sanitizing. Also, it's good to check your social distancing. So you put your arms out in front of you and also by your sides as well. Very good. Today's lesson is about synonyms, antonyms, and poetry. Our first exercise for today can be found on page 26. On page 26, we will be discussing synonyms and antonyms. I know these are very weird sounding words, so let's say them together. Let's say the word synonym. Very good. Let's start with the synonyms. Now, a synonym is a word that means the same or almost the same as another word. You can see that in the yellow column, all the words that are there mean the same as another word or almost the same. Start can mean begin. Pretty can mean lovely. Quick can mean fast. Large can mean enormous. Scared can mean frightened. And so on and so forth. If you look at me, I am a woman, but I can also be called a lady. So a synonym is a word that means the same or sounds like has the same meaning of another word. Let's now go to antonyms. Let's say the word antonyms together. Very good. Now antonyms are words that have the opposite meaning of another word. These words we already know, but we didn't know that they were antonyms. For example, loud can mean soft. Fast can mean slow. And so on and so forth. You can look at the board for an example. Here we have two men, but there is an older man and a younger man to show that they are the opposite of each other. So an antonym is a word that means the opposite of another word. Let's now turn to page 27 for our exercise. On page 27, you can see we are going to change those words into synonyms, the ones that were underlined. Let's look at number 1. Number 1 says, Tommy liked watching the huge elephant at the zoo. The word that is underlined there is huge. If you look at the synonyms that you can find, another word for huge can be big or large. So you can write the word big. Let's take a look at number 5. Number 5 says, Sarah's bedroom is very tidy. The word tidy is the one that is underlined there. And you have to think of another word that means tidy. Another word that can mean tidy is neat. So you can write the word neat. The rest of the synonyms you are going to do by yourselves. Let's take a look at antonyms. Remember, an antonym is a word that is the opposite of another word. If you look below, you have a table, and it is also asking you to change the underlined word. Let's look at number 1. Number 1 says, my teacher gives hard homework. I hope your teacher does not give you hard homework. Let's take a look at our table. We have so many words there, but I think the answer is easy. So the opposite of hard is easy. So you can please write the word easy in the space provided. I would like you to also cross out that word easy so that you don't use it again. Let's look at number 6. Number 6 says, I like a cold lunch. Oh, I'm sure nobody really likes a cold lunch. So let's look for the proper word there. If you look at the box, we have the opposite of cold, which is hot. So we can put the word hot on the space provided. And the sentence will read, I like a hot lunch. Now that sounds a lot better. The rest of these sentences you can do by yourselves. But remember, a synonym means same meaning to its word, and an antonym means opposite from the word that is given. Good luck. I hope you now know the difference between synonyms and antonyms. Remember, synonyms mean the same and antonyms mean the opposite. Now let's take a look at our exercise on page 28. On page 28, we have another beautiful poem, but this one is mainly for the grade 3s. Let's read it together. Remember, when you are reading something, make sure that you read it 3 times. I am going to read it with you twice, and you will read it by yourselves for a 3rd time. The poem is called Autumn Leaves. Autumn leaves, they flutter as they fall down to the ground. They whisk and twist, they dance, but they don't make a sound. Quiet, oh so quiet, they whisper on their way, landing in a pile in which we all can play. And that is our poem today. Let us try again. This time, if you'd like, please read with me. Autumn leaves, they flutter as they fall down to the ground. They whisk and twist, they dance, but they don't make a sound. Quiet, oh so quiet, they whisper on their way, landing in a pile in which we all can play. Wonderful. Now I'd like you to please turn to page 29. On page 29, there is an instruction there for you that says write your own poem about autumn and draw the pictures of autumn in the space provided. So, you know what autumn looks like. We have been talking about it the whole week. We have said about the leaves, the wind, and what you can do during autumn, as well as what you can wear during autumn as well. So I'd like you to please use your imagination as well as the things that you know about autumn. The other instruction that is below is to start each line of your poem with the letter on that line. So, for example, we have the letter A A at the beginning of that line, which means that your word must start with A. Remember, your poem needs to rhyme and make sense. So please take your time, think about the words you want to put on your poem before you write it. And if you need some inspiration, I want you to please think about what you like about autumn. Is it the leaves? Is it the colors? Is it the weather? Is it the warm coffee you can drink? Or is it the playing in the leaves? I really want you to enjoy yourselves and be creative. Hope you have fun. Good luck. Now we have a special treat for you here. I'd like us to please sing about autumn. We have talked so much about autumn that we now need to sing about it. Let us now turn to page 30. On page 30, you can see that there is a lovely song there for us, talking about the leaves falling and where they are falling. The first one says that it fell on my nose. The second one fell on my toes. The last one fell on my head. And then it tells us the different colors of the leaves. We have yellow, orange, and red. So we are going to sing this song together. You, me, my friend, and Zashi. Are we ready, everybody? Are you ready, Zashi? Okay. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. One fell on my nose. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. One fell on my toes. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. One fell on my head. Leaves are falling, leaves are falling. Yellow, orange, red. Wow, I enjoyed that. Sashi, did you enjoy that? Wonderful. Did you enjoy that? Very good. So, as always, when we are done with our lessons, we need to sanitize our hands. So, let us take our sanitizer. Very good. Rub inside and round, and make sure that they are dry. Also practice the social distancing. So, from my friend Zashi and I, we would like to say goodbye.
Hi everyone, I'm back, and if you are scared of what you read on social media, talk to your parents and ask them the questions. They know everything. Until next time, bye!
Thank you for that, Teacher Mutsa. I hope you guys found it as interesting as I did. So the next lesson for you guys is that of grade 7, week 8, lesson 8. And this has all to do about science. I hope you guys love science as much as I do. So stay tuned.
Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Mr. Dumi, and welcome Clarice. Before we start with our lesson for today, let us remember to sanitize. Make sure all parts of your hands are sanitized, observing the social distance by stretching out. And our lesson for today is on estimating and measuring. Lesson on page 23. So that's where our notes for science are. Starting, estimating and measuring. So the competences there just to read through. Estimate and measure the height of fellow learners and the mass of school bags using the appropriate methods. The words that you need to know are height, definition of height, the measurement of something, someone, from base to top, that is the definition of height. Measuring instrument is the tool that can be used to find something. Units or measuring units, physical quantity of measure for example, meter, centimeter, kg, etc. To move to page 24, measuring the height of a person, reading through, remember to estimate before you measure. By measuring the height of a fellow learner, you use a measuring tape, which is an instrument, or a meter stick, which is also an instrument, but that should be shorter than 1 meter or exactly 1 meter. And measure also in meters, meaning when you are measuring the height of a person, it should be recorded in meters. But then you must make sure the learner measured stands straight. Below is the correct way a learner must stand when measuring the height. There is a picture or the image which demonstrate how one should stand. Then we need also to look at the instrument. You need to indicate the instrument you are using to measure. There is measuring tape and the image shows a measuring tape. Units, you must indicate the units. You can either measure units, can be kilometers, meters, and so on and so on. How to measure the mass? Now we are using a school bag. The instrument, remember about the instrument. That can be a balance or a balance scale. The units can be kg, which is kilograms, G for grams, and so on and so on. Now I have to move to the chalkboard so that I can explain further on how to do this experiment. We have 5 words or terms that we need to stick on or we need to know today. So the estimation is the first thing we have to do. You have to guess, you have to give a better guessing. Then we have to measure the difference. The difference, you must make sure that you have to find the difference between these two values. There is evaluation, whereby you have to evaluate yourself or your estimate according to the scale which is drawn here. If it's low, that is a poor estimate. If it's at 5, then we say this is a very good estimate. We also have to look at the comments, whereby the comments obviously talk about how is your estimate related to the measure, and then that should be either poor or it should be either good. So we need to do an experiment here. So for the height first, but before we do the measure, I need to do the estimate, which is to look at her height and give a better guess. You just need to stand straight. I can see that maybe if I have to guess, I would say it's 1.5 meter, maybe. This would be my estimate. So your height maybe is 1.5 or 1.6, 1.5 meter. Must be indicated also. I mean, the unit must be indicated. Therefore, if I have my estimation, I have to move to the measurement. This is physically done, and you have to measure a person. So just stand for me. Okay, I have to use this. Stand for me, and I have to make use of a marker to mark where I have to end. Just stand straight and look forward. Then I have to put this straight, and this also straight. And I have to look if it's straight, and I see it's straight here, so I'll mark it here. Now I've made a marking on this straight object. So what we have to do is, can you hold for me there? Thank you. And I have to give you the starting point of this measuring tape. And then I have to, you can just put it on the table so that it can be straight. Make sure it's straight there. And then I have to take my reading, and this is my marking. So this is exactly 1.6. This is 1.6 meter. And then, thank you, just put this here. And I have taken the recording as 1.6 meter. And then I've done the estimate, the measurement, so I need to go for the difference. The difference is for me to find it between these two values, and I'll start with the bigger one, which is 1.6 meter. Then you get it by subtracting 1.5 meters. Remember, these are meters. To subtract that, I'll have it here. Take away 5 from 6, you have a 1. I have my point, and then obviously you have a 0 here. So the difference here, I'll have a 0.1 meter. When you have 0.1 meter, if you have to look at the measure is 1.6 and your estimate was 1.5, it means I was so close to get this 0.6, I was so close to the actual value. So if I have to evaluate myself, I'll say I was very near, so I'll give myself a 4, which is near a very good. So I'll say I'll get a 4 here. Evaluation will be 4, but when it comes to your working, you'll find there's a table like this, so you have just to circle what is your evaluation. When it comes to the comment, was my estimate near the measurement? And the answer, of course, is yes. So I was so close, so I would say this was a good estimate. So the estimate was good. So in short, you first need to make your estimate by looking at the height of a fellow learner or someone. After you give your estimate, you need to measure. Once you measure, find the difference by taking the highest value minus the lowest value. And then you have to evaluate yourself by looking at what you have got. Were you so near the actual answer, or was your estimate so far? And the last one, which is a comment, you must indicate whether your estimate was good or poor. The height is done, so we have to move to an experiment of mass. So with me, I have a school bag here. Is it heavy? Okay, so this one, I think you are going to do it. We are going to do an experiment in our measurement will be in kg or kilograms. So you have to estimate by lifting it how heavy could be that, maybe in kg. Any number is acceptable. What could be the estimate of that? Maybe 1 kg, 2 kg, 10?
I will say 8.
8.1. So your estimate is 8.1 kg. Okay. Then I have got a bathroom scale here. So I'll put it on the table because we are going to measure the mass of this bag by placing the bag. What is inside the bag is books, just books, by placing the bag on top of the scale to find out the measure, since we have done already with the estimation. So we can start. Okay, when it's 0, 0, then we have to place it here in this manner that, okay, just need to see, place it again, and then when it's 0, 0, then we put it there. What is the value there? 3.4. So it's 3.4 kg. Then to get the difference, we have the highest is 8.1. This is kg, and the measure is 3.4, which is kg. We have to subtract. Okay, of course I have the kg here. I have to get some value here. I have 7 remaining. I'll put 1 here. I take 4 from 11. Then I'm having 7. Then there's a point. Then you subtract, you have a 4 here. If you take 3 from 7. So the difference is 4.7 kg. If you look at these two values, 8.1 and 3.4, it shows that your estimate was very far from the actual answer. And in that way, if you are to evaluate yourself on the scale here, I would say your estimate was maybe, we'll say maybe a 2. So the estimate will be a 2 compared to the measurement. And then the comment will say the estimate was a bit poor. We will not say poor, but we will say the estimate was a bit poor. So you can do this wherever you are, at home, at school. First, you need to just estimate. That way you'll be able to know that, okay, I know the values, I know the units, I know the measurement, because if one person happened to estimate the mass of this bag and say it's 100 kg, then that would be a very, very below poor estimate. So I believe by doing this, one can understand and you can do it wherever you are. So now we have to go back to our booklet and do the activity. Continue with the activity on page 24. So the first question there is to measure the mass of school bag 3 times. Estimate and measure the mass of your school bag 3 times. First measurement, it must be full of books. The second measurement, you need to have the books. And the third, you must leave the bag with only 2 books. You must do this recording in the table on page 25. Moving to page 25. Number 2, why will you not use a balance scale marked in grams to measure the mass of a school bag? I'll repeat that again. Why will one not use a scale which is marked in grams to measure the mass of a school bag? You just need to give a reason there. Number 3, where must an object start when measuring its height? Where should you place an object on whatever instrument that you have to that you have to measure? Number 4, why can we not use a ruler to measure our height? Why do we have to use a measuring tape or a meter stick? Question 5. What will one use to measure the height of a building of 5 meters tall, and why? So it's asking the instrument, and why are we using that instrument? With that, I hope you answer this question in the right way, and I wish you all the best. Do your activity and take the activity to your teachers for marking. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson, and let us not forget to sanitize. Make sure all the parts of your hands are sanitized. Keep the social distance by stretching out, and from us, it's a bye-bye.
Hi everyone, I'm back, and if you are scared of what you read on social media, talk to your parents and ask them the questions. They know everything. Until next time, bye!
Thank you so much, Teacher Dumi, for that. So right now, we are moving into the last part of our segment, and I know that you guys will miss me as much as I'll miss you, but I will be back with another video for you guys very, very soon. So right now, let's look at a video of a principal in Gobabis at a very well-known primary school, and her name is Selma David. So let's see what she has for us.
I'm Mrs. Selma Davids. I'm the principal of Twandavis Primary School here in Gobabis, and we are a big school with approximately 893 learners and 28 teachers from grade 0 up to grade 7. When I can say something about these booklets, really it was a rescue for most of the teachers, as we were only coming from our lockdown, and it was a little bit upside down, and these booklets help us really a lot also to prepare other information which was maybe left out in the booklets. So first of all, when we receive the booklets, we look into it and see maybe what we can add that we have done with the learners and from there we kicked off. So I did my own assessment with the teachers to find out from the several grades how they have found these books. And this is the following that I can testify from the teacher side. The pre-class teachers were very happy with the booklets. It is on their standard. Even the teacher asked me, did they use our curriculum to set up these booklets? Because it was mostly on the pre-class. The grade ones differ a little bit in that regard, as they are saying that these books mostly fit for the pre-primary, but it also helped because some of our grade 1 learners didn't attend preschool, and this was really a benefit for them to help, as well as the slow learners also benefit a lot, which are in grade 1 from these booklets. The only proposal that the grade 1s made is to put in more, maybe 2 and 3 letter words that the learners can read with pictures. They appreciate also the fact that you did it in the mother tongues, which is at our school, Khoikhoi Kopap and Otjiherero, so it helps us a lot. Grade 2 and 3 teachers, they are also happy with the pictures, especially it's very colorful and it helps the learners a lot. They only complain about the vocabulary is a little bit high for the learners, as it is a mother tongue school, and they will also appreciate if you can maybe prepare booklets in grade 2 and 3 in the mother tongue. Grade 4 and 5, for the English, at least 2 to 3 stories will be welcomed with comprehension and maybe a little bit of creative writing, side words, etc. So these books concentrate mostly on revision, which is good because the learners were gone for a long time. But as these grades will come back a little bit later in the year, it will be good if they can touch also the syllabus, the next topics in the syllabus, for example, the fractions, living organisms, ecosystems, etc. And also the teachers complained that they really didn't look into the competencies that must be tested. Say they must also check if they are given activity, do you test a certain competency? That will be very helpful. Grade 7s, 6 and 7, they also said mostly a revision, and they will also recommend that you bring in fractions, living organisms, scientific processes, and magnetism. And they also observe that some instructions are not that clear and confusing in the activities given to the learners. And another proposal also from the grade 7, 6 and 7 side is not to put in the answers immediately after the work has been done. So they will propose, if you say, for instance, give week 1's work, and week 2 comes out, in week 2's booklet, the answers of week 1 must be there. Otherwise, the learners are only going, get the answers filled and say, I'm done without thinking. So proposal, the next week's, if it is week 3 next week, for example, then week 2's answers must come in week 3's booklet. Then it is also helpful. Then you see the learners at least have done something. And then they are really hesitant to compare their answers to what they have written already in their booklets. But overall, really, we are very happy with the booklets. It helps us a lot. We only add, now we have time to only add few things that are not in the booklets. And even I believe the teachers are also happy because now they can use these booklets as examples in the future to come to also to prepare themselves.